Corey White here with another day in the life of an EH&S professional. Today, I'm going to show you what a hot work permit should look like for your business. Let's get into it. So there's two types of hot work permits out there. There's your typical documented, fill it out paper and pen version. And then there is also another version you can do on some sort of EH&S platform. The one that I use is Proact EH&S, and it may be good to use either one. So the advantages of using a paper one would be you can take this paper straight up to the job site, which you can also do with the Proact EH&S site, but just imagine like a contractor coming on site and needing to fill out a hot work permit, and maybe they don't have access to the system. That's where it might be easier to give them a paper version of it and then later put it into the system if you're using some sort of EH&S software. But overall, there's obviously two ways to do it. But the best way to do it, I think, is to have some sort of online platform to use, because it automatically documents it and everything is all in one place. But that it's however you want to handle that. But I wanted to get into the details of what should be in your hot work permit today. So first off, hot work really is anything that involves any sort of generation of sparks or open flame. And it's something you should have for your business, whether you, like the employees, are doing it or not, right? Because a lot of times a contractor would come in and might be welding or grinding something and producing sparks, right? That would make you qualify for having, needing a hot work program and a hot work permit. Even if it's just your contractors doing it, right? You need to be able to provide that for them so they can perform their work safely. So what should be in your hot work permit is obviously the date, the name of the person performing the hot work. So, the grinding, the welding, and then the name of the person performing the fire watch. So the fire watch is important. OSHA says you need to have at least 30 minutes of fire watch after hot work is completed. And the person performing the hot work and the person performing the fire watch can be the same person. It doesn't need to be separate people. A lot of times it is, but it doesn't need to be. They just need to be in that area for at least 30 minutes. The location of the hot work, just your general job description and the type of hot work, so you can keep track of the different permits, what was performed and when, your start time, and then there's a time the permit expires. So they're going to fill out all of that. And then there's your hot work checklist. Are there sprinklers? Sometimes that might be an NA. They need to inspect their equipment before use. Is there a fire extinguisher present? That's obviously very important. And then, combustible material, OSHA wants it to be at least 35 feet away from kind of that point of operation. And then there's some special things for elevated work and for confined spaces as well. So they would fill all that out, perform that work, and then afterwards they would do what's called the fire watch. And the fire watch, again, according to OSHA, it's 30 minutes, but if you have, maybe a certain insurance agency, they might require it to be, an hour or 2 hours or something like that. But the minimum is 30 minutes. And then you're just making sure that, that fire watch employee isn't going to break or, getting lunch or something like that during that time. They're at least in that area. They can still be performing other work in that area. They just can't leave that area, right? They don't need to just sit there and watch the area where they did their hot work and do nothing else, right? They can be performing other tasks or maybe cleaning up or something. As long as they're in that area for 30 minutes, they're good to go. And then just a big piece of that is there needs to be a fire extinguisher present, and they should be trained on that fire extinguisher and how to use it. So again, that's where if OSHA were to come in or something and there was a fire, then, they would look at your hot work permit. And then from there, they would look into your fire extinguisher training. So a lot of times what I do is for hot work and fire extinguisher training, they're the same training. I'll train employees how to use the fire extinguisher when I'm going through how this hot work permit is set up and how to exactly to use it. Hopefully this was helpful for you, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.